Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. To celebrate our 100th video here on the channel, we're bringing you a 1-hour special with some of the newest, most ridiculous incidents of police misconduct so far this year. Starting off, we're looking at a case where two police officers pulled a man over out of retaliation and then assaulted him when he was simply standing there and complying with their orders. To make this matter worse, the officers were later caught lying. On February 6, 2023, Deputy Tier of the Coweta County Sheriff's Department was out on patrol duty when he allegedly noticed a driver without a seatbelt pull into a gas station. In response, Deputy Tier promptly activated his patrol vehicle's lights and initiated a traffic stop. It's worth noting that the driver, namely Tyler Merkerson, has had prior encounters with Deputy Tier, who was known to intentionally pull him over numerous times just to harass him for no reason at all. This is why, upon coming to a stop, Mr. Merkerson stepped out of his vehicle to ask Deputy Tier about the reasoning behind the traffic stop. He also added that he only pulled his seatbelt off once he entered the gas station. The body cam footage starts after this initial confrontation, and the occasional notes you will see on screen are from the source itself, not from us.
184 Deputy Tier.
What's your name?
I just said it. Can you hear me? Deputy Tier.
Obviously I can't.
It'll be on your ticket. Hold on one second.
Right.
130. 130. Now 25 when you're done.
I'll be alright, G. Good deal, no, Lieutenant Ellington.
Hey, stay in the truck. Stay in the truck and shut the door. If I have to ask you again, you're going to jail.
So far into this encounter, there are two crucial points worth noting already. First of all, it's rather unusual for an officer to request backup when a traffic stop is already on its way to being concluded, unless the officer intends to look for reasons to escalate the ordeal, which appeared to be the case here. Secondly, bear in mind that Deputy Tier had already issued Mr. Merkerson a citation just seconds after stepping back into his patrol vehicle. This essentially meant that all Deputy Tier had to do was hand the citation over to Mr. Merkerson and carry on with his patrol duty. By taking these two factors into account, we can now assume that Deputy Tier was now unreasonably prolonging Mr. Merkerson's detainment. We can relate this situation to the 2015 case of Rodriguez v. United States, where Struble, a K-9 officer, stopped a man named Rodriguez for driving on a highway shoulder. The officer attended to everything relating to the stop, including checking the driver's licenses of Rodriguez and his passenger, and then also issuing a warning. Even though the stop came to an end, the officer sought permission to walk his dog around the vehicle, but Rodriguez refused, and the officer then waited several minutes for backup to arrive, so a dog sniff could be conducted anyway. The Supreme Court ultimately held that extending a routine traffic stop to conduct a dog sniff is unconstitutional as an unreasonable seizure under the Fourth Amendment unless there is a reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. So, by extension to Mr. Merkerson's situation, we can say that Deputy Tier did not have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity in order to justify prolonging the traffic stop. Now, let's take a look at the events that followed once Deputy Brooks arrived as backup.
Hey, he's being, have him step out and sit on my car. But y'all got a rap on this joker, don't you?
Huh?
Y'all got a rap on this joker, don't
Hey,
you?
man.
What's up?
You got a complaint form on you?
No, I don't.
This is this keeps pulling me over every time I come to this gas
That's fine. If you would, hop out and go have a seat on this hood, please. You ain't got no weapons, nothing like that on you?
No.
Thank you. Just walk back there.
Can I go in the store yet?
No, just hold on.
I'm trying to fix the window too.
You have a seat on this hood.
Deputy Tier immediately asked Deputy Brooks to have Mr. Murkerson step out of his vehicle. This was done for no apparent reason whatsoever. Mr. Murkerson did not act suspiciously. He was not under the influence of any substance, and he was certainly not a threat to anybody. It was now proven that Deputy Tier indeed had a personal problem with Mr. Murkerson. Regardless, this is when the ordeal took a sudden turn for the worse. Watch as Mr. Murkerson complies with Deputy Brooks and exits his vehicle, but then recalls that he has a pocket knife on him. He was quick to inform Deputy Brooks about it and even requested to have it removed from him so neither of the officers are caught by surprise. However, both officers decide to respond with excessive force and aggression. Note that a portion of the footage will be censored since the officers were very violent.
Thank you.
Don't get his pocket knife on me when y'all trying to stick on.
Just have a seat on the freaking hood. Have a seat on the hood.
Get this off of me.
Have a seat on the hood. Hey, 95, I'm done with this. 95. You ain't listened since I pulled you over. Go and grab him.
Hey, y'all get him.
I got him. I'm gonna tase him. Put your hands behind your back. Watch out. I'm gonna tase him.
I'm good.
Real smart, dumb.
I just wanted y'all to get
10, 10, 95.
I understand that, but we tell you, I wanted you to get a knife off of me so you wouldn't
No,
shoot.
because you don't listen. That's the problem, because you don't listen.
Right, you with me, man.
Turn around.
Weapon, and I was trying to get y'all to get it off of me.
As seen in the footage, Mr. Murkerson was standing still, not approaching anyone, while asking Deputy Brooks to remove the pocket knife from him. Then, after Deputy Brooks pulled the pocket knife out from Mr. Murkerson's jeans, Deputy Tier was heard asking Deputy Brooks to 95 Mr. Murkerson. This is a code that refers to placing a subject under arrest. So, essentially, both officers abruptly and without warning or informing Mr. Murkerson placed him under arrest while using an excessive amount of force. This included throwing him to the ground, tasing him, and also choking him to where he couldn't breathe. According to a policy manual published by the Georgia Department of Public Safety, it stated under use of force policy number 10.01 that reasonable force may be used to effect a lawful investigative detention or arrest, control a subject who is in lawful custody, prevent an escape, or protect the member, the subject, or another person from injury or death. It's also stated that, in determining whether a member's use of force is reasonable in a particular case, it is necessary to evaluate the facts and circumstances confronting the member at the time the force was used. All of the surrounding circumstances will be considered, including whether the subject posed an immediate threat to the safety of the member or others, the severity of the crime at issue, and whether the suspect actively resisted arrest or attempted to flee. Judging by these policies, we can conclude that the excessive use of force against Mr. Murkerson was far from reasonable. This is because Mr. Murkerson visibly did not resist the officers, did not appear to make an attempt to flee, and certainly did not pose an immediate threat to the public or the officers. Anyway, Deputy Tier's malicious intent became even more evident after this, as he indirectly threatened to delete video evidence from Mr. Murkerson's wife's mobile phone, which she used to record the ordeal from a distance while sitting inside her own vehicle.
Hey, get this on video, please. And that's fine. Let me get your cell phone when we get done, okay?
Y'all got a lawsuit coming?
Yeah, you do.
Y'all got a lawsuit coming?
No, you're right. You sure do. Because you don't listen. I'm going to give you one ticket and a warning for the other, but you can't follow directions.
I'm trying to get you to get a knife off of me.
What I tell you to do, works. What I tell you to
I
do?
don't want y'all to shoot me.
Did I pull my gun or anything
Bro,
on you?
y'all didn't beat my ass.
Jesus Christ.
What, you got something?
Jesus
Y'all
Christ.
didn't beat my ass,
Jesus
bro.
Christ.
184, 192.
Over me trying to get you to get a knife out of my pocket.
10-4.
You beat my.
Stop.
Come on.
Talk to me like a man, bro. Talk to me like a man, bro. Talk to me like a man. Y'all the biggest gang in Cat. We the Cat.
Sit.
Have a seat. Don't even mess with her anymore.
I'm not.
Why y'all gotta be a gang? Why y'all gotta be thugs,
Okay,
bro?
Why can't you listen?
Why y'all gotta be thugs?
Why can't you listen?
I asked you to get a
Why
knife, brother.
can't you listen?
I asked you to get a knife. You asked me if I had a weapon.
Can you shut up? Can you shut up? Hey, is that your boyfriend?
No, that is my husband.
Your husband has really bad listening problems.
Yeah, that's because
so
you
he's
won't
gonna
stop
catch
messing
that.
with him. That's okay.
What's his? I don't even know the guy.
His name's Tyler, but
So,
you've done this to him several different.
well,
This isn't the first
here's
time
the
you've
deal.
done
If he'd
this
stop giving me a reason to stop him, he won't get pulled over. I don't even recognize him.
Okay, well.
I stop hundreds of cars a
That's
year.
okay, but
so.
did you give him a seatbelt ticket?
I was working on it, but he
Yeah,
won't listen.
yeah, I didn't-
Yeah, but now he's gonna catch it on charge.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll let you call him when he's bonded out. Yeah, if he would just shut up and I think you take that from me. No, not right now. Absolutely not. No, just sit in your car.
Am I free to go?
No, yeah, you're free to go. Get out of here.
Hey, you want me to just drive
Don't talk. You don't have to talk to me that way.
You need an ambulance at all? You heard it all?
Yeah, y'all heard
Where
me.
do you need check? You need an ambulance?
He just choked the shit out of
Do
me,
you
bro.
need an ambulance?
I almost died.
Do you want an ambulance? I can start you one. If you need to be
Why
checked
y'all
out.
have to be like this, bro?
I was gonna get you on the way.
Now watch and listen closely as both officers blatantly admit that Mr. Murkerson was not fighting them back in any way. Yet you will later hear the officers claiming multiple times that Mr. Murkerson was indeed resisting and fighting them. They essentially lied about the situation in an attempt to charge Mr. Murkerson with a felony, once again displaying pure tyranny. But it got worse. Deputy Tears even mocked Mr. Murkerson and called him inappropriate names.
You're not looking out for me. You're looking out for yourself.
Tyler Murk. I don't even know the guy.
10-4, thank you.
He's been locked up. Was he hitting on you or anything?
You said what?
Was he hitting on you?
No,
or anything?
I have no clue.
I almost slammed him down. He got right back up. I thought he was gonna bushball him. Use of force. Well. Now I recognize her.
I never recognized
I
her
recognize her.
Haze me, don't leave that
Oh, I'm not gonna leave it out.
Yeah, don't leave that out of there. He choked me, had me around my throat.
No, my
slammed
elbow
my
was
hand
on
into
your
the
upper
concrete.
or your lower chin.
Yeah,
Might have been on your
don't
neck.
leave
So
none of that out. Don't
Okay.
leave none of that
Well,
out.
hey, sir, we have to do what we gotta do to get you in custody.
That's
Okay.
aggravated assault.
Well, I need you to go take warrants out for that then, since we did aggravated assault. We're sitting here trying to place you under arrest and you're resisting.
Hey, where do I have to get him out at?
if you'll go, where's your car? I'll come talk to you. Okay? I'll come talk to you. If y'all are gonna make complaints on him and me,
I'm not.
no,
I just want to know where I have to get
that's
my
not. Just I'm gonna bring him.
No, you're supposed to comply.
I won.
No, you aren't.
Dude,
We're not
What is wrong with you?
we're not gonna do
All I
this.
had to do was just get the knife so I felt safer.
I understand what you're trying to do. No, I do. No, I understand. I understand. I'll come. I'll come back there and speak with you if you'll let me talk and not yell. Okay. Okay. Will you stop yelling at me when I answer questions? We have a deal. Okay. Cool.
Says he wants to go to the hospital for his right knee.
His right knee.
Said he had surgery on it, got rods and all in it, and it hurts.
Is that something? Yeah. Okay. I mean, is he? Okay. I'll call the supervisor. You're fine.
I mean, he's fine. He can,
When I'm on the way.
Huh?
When I'm on the way.
I don't know. You have service out here? Can you call the? Let me go to the hospital.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Retarded.
Hey, you get 2 for 1.
That's amazing. God, thank you guys. Hold on one sec. You hit you unlocked here? All right, look. I'm gonna read you this just so. Right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court of law. You have the right to talk alone and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you can't afford a high lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any question if you wish. You decide at any time to exercise your rights, not answering any question or making any statements. Do you understand your rights? Okay. So we'll go through this. Okay. I asked you. I told you go have a seat on his hood. I said, do you have any weapons? You said no. You go back. You go to his hood. I said, just have a seat on it. All right? And then you say, I have this knife. Come and get it. And you start telling me to come get it. I said, that's fine. Hold on. And you said, no, come get it before you shoot me. Y'all shoot my... That is you not listening to me when I say have a seat on the hood. He was about to get out, and I was going to tell him to get the hood, or I was talking to your partner.
He was about to get out. I was going to say grab his knife. I'm not going to shoot you just because you have a pocket knife, man.
I just wanted one of y'all to get the knife.
I understand that.
I felt safe.
I understand that.
I had forgotten that I had the
Okay,
knife.
that's fine.
I wanted one of y'all to remove the weapon so that I was considered unarmed at that point.
So do you understand when I said hold on, have a seat on this hood? That meant hold on.
That doesn't make me feel safe. Still having a knife in my pocket around both of you when the situation is.
Okay. But do you know what you're doing?
Heightened.
But do you know what you're doing? It wasn't heightened for me at all. I don't know about y'all what happened before I got here, but it wasn't heightened with me at all.
He's been after me, brother.
Okay.
He's looking for a reason to get me, and he just found it, and you helped him beat my.
I can promise you. I can promise you.
I know plenty of officers.
Okay.
This dude's a dick.
Okay.
You may not be. You may be a really good dude.
Regardless of all that, I'm talking about the situation at hand. I told you to hold on, okay? And when you don't listen, that's obstruction, man. Okay. Regardless if you're saying I have a knife on me or not. Okay. But regardless if you're saying I have a knife.
My safety should be your utmost concern.
Well, that's something you're just gonna talk to your attorney because I disagree. I told you to hold on, okay? If it would have been like a gun, like where you're like, hey, I got a gun right here, I probably would have saw it before you got out. But
What's
knife.
the difference in a knife?
Well, a knife.
Especially if you didn't know I had it.
A knife you had to charge and actually stab. And at the time, I didn't really think you were going to.
I had no intentions to.
There you go. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Have a seat on your hood.
So then why slam me? Because I just want you to get the knife.
You didn't listen.
Why slam me?
But listen, you didn't listen, which is a form of obstruction, which is an arrestable offense. Is an arrestable offense.
Slamming me to the ground.
That warrants
choking me out and tasing me.
That warrants placing you under arrest. If you don't listen, which you tense up.
So that warrants what y'all did to me.
If you tense up and
guys jumping on me because I just wanted y'all to grab a knife.
If you resist,
listen to what you're saying, brother.
If you
that
resist,
doesn't go with what I did, man.
You tense up and resisted. Yes, sir, you did.
Slamming me to the ground and everything that y'all did is not warranted by me asking y'all to get a knife.
Well, that's going to be our supervisor's decision. We have to do use of forces and stuff. But you
have a use of force continuum.
No,
that you're supposed to follow.
Oh yeah, we have a use of force policy. Yes, sir.
This much force. If that don't work, this much force. If that don't work, this much force. You know, it's a ladder that you climb up.
So what did we do that did not follow the use of force continuum?
You should have came over and talked to me and said, "Look, man, I know you got a knife here. Let's go ahead and grab
that."
So
we're past that. We're past that. I didn't slam you because of the knife. I slammed you because you resisted arrest. When I went to put you in handcuffs, you tensed up and pulled your arm.
You never told me I was under arrest. Y'all just started slamming me to the ground.
He said you're under arrest.
No.
I grabbed your arm and said, "Put your hands behind your back."
He said that I was under arrest. Y'all grabbed me and took me to the ground.
No, I heard it, sir. That's the only reason I put my hands on you is because he said, "Go ahead, 95. He's under arrest."
What the fuck is 95?
That is telling me to place you in arrest. But he said
y'all didn't tell me nothing.
He did. He did.
No, you didn't. I don't know what 95 is. I'm getting loud.
It's okay. We said.
I don't know what 95 is. But you know what 95 is.
But listen to me. He told me.
So y'all should have said, "Look, sir, you're not listening. You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back."
Okay.
I would have complied. Okay. This should be a training lesson, a learning lesson.
He did say you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. He did, sir. He did. I promise you, he did.
I heard stop resisting. I didn't hear nothing about you're under arrest. I thought y'all were beating my just to beat my out here in a parking lot.
Before all that, he did say you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. He did. Whether you heard it or not, I heard it. I know he said it. He said it.
Y'all supposed to make sure I hear it. Y'all supposed to give me man enough respect to turn around and put my hands behind my back. Y'all didn't do.
Well, I barely touched you to put your hands behind your back.
I'm a grown man. If you look at me to the eyes and say, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to take you to jail," put your hands behind your back, I would comply with you. Whether or not I like the situation, I would comply with you and say, "Yes, sir," and I'd turn around and put my head behind my back. Everything y'all just did to me on that concrete right there is.
Well, so. The issue is the form of obstruction when you're not listening in the first place. All right, when I say just have a seat, you're already worked up. I'm telling you just have a seat, hang out, hold on. You see what I'm saying? That's a form.
See my point of view.
I do see what you're saying. I do.
People get killed all the time because they got a knife or they got a gun. I don't want to die out here.
Okay. Well, I could see it different if I had my gun out and it was pointing at you like, put your hands up, you got a knife. But I told you, okay, you have a hang out for a second. Just have a seat. He's gonna get the knife off of you. See what I'm saying? I showed no sign of being afraid of you because you had a pocket knife, man. This is Georgia. Everybody's got a pocket knife, man. I don't know if like something has happened to you in the past with a knife or so. I don't know, but or you seeing stuff on TV about knives. But this is Cowley County, Georgia, and Heard County, Georgia. Everybody has a knife. Okay. Well, you wanting to feel safe was dictating stop, and you were trying to control the stop with that. You not listening to me stand up saying, no, come get this. That's you trying to control the stop. That's not how that works. Well, you know, you don't have to talk to your attorney. Here's the fire department. They're going to check on you, okay?
139, 184, status check.
What's going on?
Yeah, we're good. I don't know. He can check him a little bit, but they're all good.
We got another 1050 right here.
Nah, you know, knuckle, but that's, you know.
As well.
Where at? Oh, the fire station? Yeah, pull that one over.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
139, 184, status check.
What 10-4? You can hold him.
Oscar, home.
He's probably gonna complain of every little thing just because he's not.
Got medic 7 coming from their side.
Okay, cool.
He's wanting to go to the hospital
Okay, you talk to him over there.
because he says it's right.
By now, it's no question that both officers were continuously lying about the encounter in attempts to justify their actions against Mr. Merkerson, who had done nothing wrong whatsoever. The most outrageous part is that the officers were still unsure as to why Mr. Merkerson was even arrested in the first place, and neither did they give Mr. Merkerson a clear explanation other than blaming him for obstruction, which was simply illogical. The officer's vague and illogical explanation for Mr. Merkerson's arrest, based on the charge of obstruction, raises questions about the legality of the arrest and suggests that the officers may have violated Mr. Merkerson's Fourth Amendment rights. Regardless, the officers then spoke to a supervisor, namely Lieutenant Looney, to whom they blatantly lied, as you will now observe. Watch as they try to cover it all up.
Thank you, guys. Y'all are good.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
You call Looney or Doss?
Lenny.
Hey, medic said the dude's good, but he said that he wants to go to the hospital because his right leg hurts, or right knee because he's had a surgery in the past. Yeah, the medic said they cleared him, but he requested to go to the hospital because his knee hurts. Take him to jail. Okay. Are they gonna make me go take him or okay. My pants are torn up. Damn it. So my damn pants are shredded. Pulled him over for a seat. Well, he said we're gonna have a lawsuit and that we violated his rights or whatever. But yeah, stopped him because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Immediately hops out of the truck, starts being aggressive, tells me I'm always with him. I don't even recognize the guy. So I go back to my car. I tell Rad to come over here because he's just cussing, yelling out the window. Tell Rad to sit with him. So once Rad gets here, I say, hey, go ahead and pull him back out and sit him on my bumper because I don't like him in his car. He had a passenger. Gets out of the car. Once again, Rad's like, hey, sit on my car. Dude refused to sit in the car, keeps walking towards Rad. We told him 4 or 5 times, sit on the car. Wouldn't listen. I told him to go put his hands behind his back and fight was on.
Well, make sure you tell him about
He said he had a pocket knife on him, and he said that he wanted Rad to get the pocket knife so he didn't shoot him, which I never heard because I was working on a ticket. But anyway, he wouldn't listen to Rad. He kept obstructing Rad. So then I told him to put his hands behind his back. Fight was on. Took him down. He got up. Rad grabbed him back. We had to take him back down the ground. I drove stun him because he wouldn't put his hands behind his back. And my knees skinned up and pants were ripped, but.
Well, let me explain to him.
Here's Rad's side of it because I was in the car.
Hey, Elsie. So, the truck, he gets out. I asked him, hey, do you have any weapons? He says no. He gets out, walks back to the car. He stands in front of the car, he's looking down at here, and then I'm sitting there talking to the passenger, about to get the passenger out, and then he turns around at me, he goes, hey, I have this knife. Come get this knife before y'all shoot me. I said, hey, man, just hold on, have a seat on the bumper. We'll get the knife. And he's like, no, y'all come get this knife before y'all shoot me now. And he takes like a step, or like he didn't walk at me or walk towards me, but he like took a step up, was like, y'all need to come get this knife right now. And I told him, hold on. He's not listening, starts like getting agitated. So I walk back, I said, dude, just have a seat on the hood like we're telling you to. Kier jumps out and goes, you know what, I'm done with them, 95 of them. We got to put him in the handcuffs. And he started resisting it. Not listening, yeah, the obstruction part of not listening. Yeah. I don't know if he was, straight like you're under arrest or detaining me because of how he was acting. I don't really know. So that would be a question for him. Were you arresting him?
For obstruction. Yeah.
Okay, for the
because that's the sixth time he wouldn't listen.
Okay, so yeah, he said he was 95 and 100%. I don't know everything that happened before, but that was what happened at my. So he was saying 100% he had enough for a misdemeanor obstruction. He wasn't listening. It was 95 in him for all that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I have no clue anything prior to when I got there. All I know is I told him to have a seat on the hood, and I told him I understand that you were letting me know that you had a knife, but he was basically what he was trying to do was trying to dictate the stop off of that. Like I understood he had a knife, but I'm telling him to have a seat. Tier will get the knife off of him. He's like, well, I didn't want y'all to shoot me. I said, dude, did I have my gun out on you? Like, did I have any? Like, was I sitting there saying like, oh God, no, he's got a knife? No, I said that's fine. Have a seat. We'll get it. Like basically trying to dictate the stop off of his emotions towards Tier pulling him over. I've never seen him a day in my life. He's got a troop tag. The truck had a troop tag. That's all I know. But that was I 100% know that. I don't know about when Tier got here, but when I was here, 100% trying to dictate the stop, he saw that he had a knife and he was trying to be a jackass, saying, oh, they're going to shoot me if I have a knife, when there was no indication at all that I was even remotely afraid that he had the knife. I asked him if he had any weapons. He said no, got out. He remembered he had a weapon, which is understandable. But when I say, hold on, have a seat on the hood, I will get the knife, because there's a passenger. I'm trying to deal with a passenger also, and doesn't want to listen and starts hooping and hollering because he's got the knife. No, y'all come get me before y'all shoot me and all this. That's him trying to dictate the stop and change the stop how it's going. So, and then when we go place him under arrest for the obstruction, him not wanting to listen and all that, is when the fight was 100% resisted, tried to pull his arm up front. Then I put him on the ground. He got back up. I don't know if he was trying to run or what he was doing. And then I put him back on the ground. Forearm was on his the side of his neck and his chin. And he's claiming I choked him, but I mean, it was like.
184 status check.
All right, I'm gonna taser.
Hey, put your
hands behind your back.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Get on your stomach. I had force on his lower chin, upper neck area. It wasn't like on his tracheum or anything where I'm like choking the crap out of him.
184 status check.
All right, I'm gonna taser
in your face. Put your
hands behind your back.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Get on your stomach. But it was a fight. I can't remember exactly, and I had to look, but I want to say he was even flaring his arms and stuff as well, almost hitting me. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to say that's exactly what happened. I don't really remember. I didn't get hit in the face or anything, so that's,
All these attempts made by the officers to cover up their abuse of authority fall under the category of police misconduct. Such misconduct can take many forms, including lying, falsifying reports, and using excessive force, and is prohibited by law in most jurisdictions. In fact, there have been numerous court cases that have established the legal standards for police misconduct, including Monell v. Department of Social Services of the City of New York, which held that municipalities can be held liable for the actions of their employees, including law enforcement officers, if those actions are found to be unconstitutional. It is imperative that law enforcement officers are held accountable for their actions, and that measures are taken to prevent and address such misconduct in order to maintain the public's trust and confidence in law enforcement. Following this, instead of taking Mr. Murkerson to the hospital, as per his request, The officers drove Mr. Murkerson down to the Coweta County Jail, where Lieutenant Looney spoke to him and immediately sided with the lying officers, instead of analyzing the situation in a critical manner.
That's why within any realm of reason, you need to comply with what's been going on in traffic stuff. That's what happens that's how any of them get escalated. Anywhere in the country. It starts from someone being upset that they pulled over and start being confrontational. That's how when all really you got to do is comply, go along. Then if you have a complaint, follow up afterwards. During the traffic stop's not the time, because you're going to be wrong every time, because that is legally obstruction of what we're trying to do.
I wasn't trying to obstruct. I was just trying to feel safer about the situation and me not having a weapon on me. I wanted the knife off of him because I was like, I told him no, I didn't have any weapons. I stepped out of my truck, went to go to his bumper, and then I was like, I got a pocket knife. Please get the pocket knife. Because I didn't want him to say, oh, well, he said no, but now he's got a knife and we see the knife, and I didn't just, please get the knife.
Well, I'm going to look at his video for something he can do to change, but we'll work on it. But at this point, what part of the video I saw, you obstructed and fought. You fought back when he was trying to put you in handcuffs.
And I'm not gonna charge you with the felony.
And so,
I think more
but
so I was trying not to get my head slammed.
But I do. Well, you wasn't being taken down until you started fighting, and that's the thing,
Brother, they started snatching me off the jump.
No, he said. I can tell you what it said. It goes, put your hands behind your back, and you jerked, started fighting.
And he come up and pulled that knife out of my pocket.
And I'm talking to him.
On the left side. I grabbed your left arm.
He come from his car behind you, and.
Okay, but what's the other guy's name?
Brooks, Deputy Brooks.
Deputy Brooks come up and snatched the pocket, or the knife out of my pocket.
Was it in your front pocket? I couldn't see.
So he come up and he snatched the knife out. When he came up to me after I was like, please get the knife, please get the knife. He came up and he snatched the knife out. It was done after that. I'm sitting on the bumper, man, and then all of a sudden he's got my arm and he's snatching me this way. He's grabbing the other side.
Well,
it just escalated so fast.
And what I'm getting at is that I'm sure you remember it that way. I watched the video and I wasn't there I watched it. He come from behind, grabbed that arm, so put your hand behind your back, and you went to fight. I mean, it was just that fast.
No, that was Brooks snatching me.
No, well, the video didn't show that. You fought when he grabbed your arm, said put your hand behind your back. That's when the fight started.
Yeah, when he grabbed me on that side, Brooks was trying to get me to the ground.
That didn't happen at the same time. It happened right as you started fighting. They went to take it down. That's what the video shows. That's all I'm saying. In the future, in the future, just follow it. I mean, there's in this whole country, there's some bad places.
I think there's some better things they could have done as well, though.
And
I think this should be used as some kind of training.
If you're fighting the police,
I'm not punching them. I'm trying to make sure.
I couldn't see that. I didn't see from his. You didn't get punched, did you?
No, but Brooks choked the shit out of me. I couldn't breathe.
Oh. I'll look.
He had his forearm all in my throat. I literally could not breathe, and then he tased.
I can't see that from his. I have to see it from his. What his cameras are. Just the obstinance and argument out there isn't good, but it could be called obstruction, but it doesn't necessarily jailable. But to the point of fighting, that we probably could have worked with. But once you go to the fight, we've hurt you. He's hurt. We had to tase. Once you've obstructed at that point, we can't just walk away. Both parties can't just walk away from it. We'll have to deal with it in court and try to fix it in court. We can talk to the solicitor's office and say, hey, what can we do? What can we work out? That kind of thing.
Ultimately, Mr. Murkerson was booked and charged with obstruction, along with the traffic violations. However, all charges were later dropped, and as of the date of this recording, Mr. Merkerson is in search of a lawyer in Georgia to pursue legal action against the officers. He has also set up a GoFundMe to help cover attorney fees. Next up, we have yet another outrageous case where several police officers pulled a wrong car over and held the entire family at gunpoint while placing their young innocent son in handcuffs. As expected, the family was left severely traumatized. On July 23, 2023, a family was driving down the Dallas North Tollway in Frisco, Texas, making their way to a basketball tournament where their son was supposed to compete. Suddenly, the family noticed several law enforcement patrol vehicles right behind them, with their lights and sirens switched on. The overwhelming urgency made the mother pull over to the side of the road immediately, and officers stepped out of their patrol vehicles with full force, guns drawn, while shouting orders at the family. Now, before we look at the body cam footage from different angles, let me tell you why this family was pulled over in the first place. Officers with the Frisco Police Department were out on patrol duty when they ran the car's license plate, but completely mistyped it, telling the system that the family's car had an Arizona license plate, when in reality, they had an Arkansas license plate. This ridiculous blunder caused the system to inform the officers that the car was stolen. Let's take a look at Officer 1's body cam footage, and we will also switch to Officer 2's body cam to give you a different angle.
Yeah, let's call him out.
Just going down the tollway. All of them call.
51 dispatch, can you hear me?
Affirmative.
You do a felony stop.
I'll do felony stop.
Everyone get down. Everyone put their hands outside the window. Do it now.
Whatever is in your hand, put it on the roof. That's fine. Open up the car from the outside. Yes.
If we can get the tollway shut down, people to exit.
Hey, move your car back. Move your car back, bro. I don't want them to hit me and then slam into me. Open up your car door and step out of the car. Unlock your car. Unlock your car. Do it now. Unlock your car. Slowly exit the vehicle. Face away from us. Face away from us. Face away. Turn around. Turn around. It's okay. Turn around. Do not face us. Everybody in the car, hands outside the window. Hands outside. Maintain your hands outside. Driver, slowly lift up your shirt only for us to see your waistband. Slowly spin around. You can lower your shirt a little bit. Lower your shirt. Lower your shirt. We do not need to see your bra. Okay. That's fine. Slowly start walking backwards. Walk backwards. Keep walking. Keep walking backwards. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Walk a little faster. The tollway is shut down. Keep walking backwards. Hands up. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking backwards. Keep walking. Stop. Stop. Face away from us. Face away. Face that direction.
Relax. Put your hands behind your back. Come on, sit back here. Come on. Is this your car? Is this your car? Yes. Okay. Come on. Whose tag is that on the car? Come back here.
What happened?
Is that your tag on the vehicle?
Yeah, I'm from Arkansas, Little Rock. I'm a nurse. I've never done anything in my life.
Where'd you get the tag from? Has that always been the same tag on the vehicle?
Yes,
Step
ma'am.
back here. Step back here.
What?
Okay. So you always had that tag on?
Ma'am, ever since I've had my car.
Okay.
I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I've never been in trouble in my life.
Put your hands down.
This is scaring the hell out of me.
As you've just seen, the mother was utterly terrified by what was happening to herself and her family. This is no surprise since she was asked to walk toward the officers facing away with her hands up, all while numerous officers had their guns drawn directly at her. One point worth noting is that the mother immediately informed the officer that she was from Arkansas and her vehicle always had the same tag. This is where the officer had a slight realization that there might have been a major mishandling of the situation. Meanwhile, other officers then held the son at gunpoint, who was a mere teenager, ordering him to step out with his hands up. This prompted an even more tense response from the mother, who was literally watching her son being held at gunpoint. And it goes without saying how much more terrified she was because of that. To make things worse, the officers went as far as to place the young boy in handcuffs.
Rear passenger behind the driver's seat. Open up your car door and step out of the car slowly. Step out of the car. Face away from us. Face away. Thank you. With one hand, lift up your shirt so we can see your waistband. Now slowly spin around. Slowly spin around. Higher. Lift your shirt higher. Lift the back of your shirt higher. Turn around now. Turn around.
Relax. Okay. So, are y'all here out of town? Where are you coming?
We're a tournament. We're in Super 64 National. Look at my baby.
Nothing's gonna happen to him. Nothing's gonna happen to him. As long as your kids in the car. Man, I need you to talk to me.
My son and my nephew, we're on the way to a tournament.
Okay. Where?
Frisco?
Okay.
No, Grapevine Field House.
So when I ran your tag, it comes back that plate was removed or it's not associated with your car whatsoever.
Occupants in the car, leave your heads outside the car. We know there is a gun in there. If you reach in that car, you may get shot, so be careful. Do not reach in the car. All right, sir, that is on the roadway. With your hands up, gray shirt, gray shorts. Slowly step backwards. Start stepping backwards to our car. Start walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Who's holding hands? Stop, stop. Hey, we need more officers.
To my baby. This is very traumatizing.
Okay.
This is very traumatizing.
He talk to me.
Why is my baby in cuffs? What are y'all doing?
They're just detaining him. Doesn't mean anything's wrong.
No!
Stop.
Do not put my baby.
Just relax. Just relax.
That's terrible.
I understand.
He has never been in trouble a day in his life. He goes to a Christian school.
Okay. Nobody's in trouble. Nobody's in trouble. Okay.
I'm gonna be quiet.
So where's the registration?
It's in my glove compartment.
Okay.
This is an appropriate time to discuss whether the traffic stop in question was constitutional or not. This evaluation is prompted by the significant measures taken during the stop, such as the closure of all southbound lanes. Additionally, it is essential to determine whether the officers were justified in drawing their firearms or if their actions constituted a violation of department policy. First of all, the traffic stop in this case is specifically known as a high-risk traffic stop, which, according to the Frisco Police Department, is standard procedure for stolen vehicles. Note that a high-risk traffic stop is generally defined as a stop in which an officer has reasonable suspicion, probable cause, or a warrant, and reason to believe that one or more occupants of the vehicle may be a threat to the officer. Now, we can say that the officers would be justified in their actions only if the probable cause was valid. However, we already know that the wrong vehicle was pulled over due to mistyping the license plate. This essentially voided the probable cause, which in turn makes this traffic stop unconstitutional. Secondly, when it comes to the act of drawing a weapon on a suspect, it is commonly acknowledged that there is no specific rigid law that universally governs this action. According to the New York Times, there are no rules regarding when an officer can draw his or her gun on a suspect. The general rule of thumb is that officers can draw their guns using their own discretion. Essentially, it is up to each officer as to when to unholster their firearm and in what situations they would do so. It can be different for every person. However, a very important element to highlight is that the Ninth Circuit of Appeals, the regional court covering Arizona, has ruled that pointing guns at persons who are compliant and present no danger is a constitutional violation. Even though this incident did not occur in the state of Arizona, we can refer to this ruling and logically imply that if an officer is not threatened, he or she should not draw his or her firearm. Taking everything into account, there's little left behind that would reasonably justify this traffic stop and use of force against the innocent family. Now, watch as one of the officers present on the scene explicitly stated he believes that the vehicle pulled over was not the one reported stolen. As a result of this, the officers mutually decided to holster their weapons and proceed toward the last occupant of the vehicle, which was the father.
44, suspicious vehicle near
The wrong tag was written. This isn't a stolen vehicle. All right, let's take our. I'm taking my gun off of them. Sorry? Okay. Hey, we're coming up to you.
Hey, listen, sir. This is my wife's car. We just in a basketball tournament, bro.
Yeah.
Man, my son. That's my son. I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
Listen, bro. We just here for a basketball tournament, bro.
We just learned right now. That's why we stopped.
Come on, man. Don't do this to my son, bro. Please. I'm coming out, bro.
Come on out.
I don't know.
Come on out, please. Can you fit that way or no?
I can't fit that way, bro. Come on, man. I'm a basketball coach, bro.
It's okay.
Look, listen. Look at this, bro. Listen, bro. We are legit. I'm a basketball coach. I got concealed carry and everything, bro.
That's why we told you.
Y'all put a gun on my son for no reason, dog.
Can I explain to you? We ran a tag. The tag came out stolen, but it was the wrong state.
Come on, man. Y'all has y'all guns on this, dog. Come on,
that's standard protocol.
Man, that dude, bro, my brother just got killed not too long ago, bro.
We didn't.
That's
we were careful.
That's a terrible experience, dog. I mean, I understand y'all gotta do y'all job, man, but we all legit, bro.
Yeah, I know.
We all legit, bro.
As seen from the footage, the officers explained to the father that there was a complete misunderstanding. But is such a big mistake worth brushing off? Remember that this was a high-risk traffic stop, and even one unintentional move erratic enough to threaten officer safety would have been ample for officers to discharge their firearms. This was highly likely in this particular case, since the family had absolutely no idea as to why they were stopped and what had happened.
Hey, I don't understand. She said her...
Did you not run that out of Arkansas?
I did, AR. I did. She said it should be in the glove box registration. You said the key's on the floor? Okay. Hey, can you get him out, Billings? He's getting him out.
My keys
Look,
failed.
he's getting them out, okay?
Because that is ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you're good, man. You're good. You're good.
That's good.
You relax, man. You can put your hands outside. Go ahead. Sure. You're good, man. All right? Hey, man. Listen. It was an honest mistake. Okay? Listen, we didn't want to do this. Like, if this was the wrong car, we didn't know, okay?
Yes, sir.
So, just... All right.
Yes, sir.
So we thought it was a stolen vehicle. When we ran the information, it came back stolen to us. And so this is the normal way we pull people out of a stolen car. Okay. It just came back to us that it was not stolen. So that's why we stopped everything in the middle. Otherwise, all four of y'all would have came out at gunpoint, right? Does that make sense? So as soon as it came into the system, that's when we like, time out, time out, time out. You understand? Okay. We're so sorry that you had to go.
This is my wife's stuff right here.
What's your name, sir? So I stopped you initially, okay? So that's your wife, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So over by the, let's step over here and talk. Let me explain to you what's going on and why everything's happening the way it is, okay? One, if everything checks out, we're good. Okay, so what happened is, I ran your registration over by the hotels where you're all right? So I ran your tag, came back to associated essentially with no vehicle, right?
Okay.
So I confirmed it with my dispatch because I'm like, that's weird. Like, that's weird. So I'm like, okay, normally when we see things like this, like, it makes us believe the vehicle is stolen.
Okay.
So that's why everything is happening the way it is, for our safety and for everyone else.
Cool.
Y'all been cooperative? That's
man,
it.
I'm just saying, but when
I
had the
understand
guns
this
on my
it's very
boy,
traumatic.
I mean, yeah.
We got your son. He's back there. He's fine. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's what's going on.
To highlight how this situation could have very easily been much worse, let's take a look at the 1985 case of Tennessee v. Garner, where the Supreme Court held that the Fourth Amendment prohibits the use of deadly force against a non-violent, unarmed felon who is fleeing. The court noted, however, that if the suspect is threatening the officer or there is probable cause to believe the suspect committed a violent crime, deadly force may be justifiable to effect an arrest or prevent the suspect from fleeing. So, judging by this, and while taking into account how vague it can get when determining a threat, the officers who negligently ran the vehicle's license plates had put the innocent family under severe threat for nothing. This was the father's main concern too, as you will now see. Also, watch as one of the officers literally stated that he had no idea how this situation occurred, which was an irresponsible take since it's clearly their responsibility to ensure the safety and well-being of the public. The officer's negligence not only endangered the innocent family, but also demonstrated a lack of professionalism and accountability.
Hey man, that's my first experience like
man,
that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so sorry, man.
Bro.
So, like, this is normal standard protocol. Any stolen vehicle, this is called a high-risk traffic stop.
No bullshit. No bullshit. I got you.
No, it's called a high-risk traffic stop. Any stolen vehicle, any person that left the scene of like a robbery and like with guns involved,
right.
We always we don't ever go up to them. We always call them out to us.
Man, no bull. I ain't know what the hell y'all. Cause I seen him with the gun. I'm like, damn, man, we do. I just ate breakfast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my baby boy, man. Like, golly, bro, we good people, man. We from Little Rock, Arkansas, man. We here for it. We got a game at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bro.
Hey, man, don't let this affect your game. Hey, look at me. So what happened was we stopped the car because it came back to a stolen vehicle. Okay, a stolen Charger, everything. Like it matched everything. It's crazy. It's just I don't know how it happened. So she pulls up, she stops you. Then I was the second one to roll out, and then we do this. It's a normal thing for all. It's called a high-risk traffic stop. Y'all can YouTube it. High-risk traffic stop. Okay. Any kind of stolen vehicle, we're trained to pull them out like that. We talk to the driver, pull them out. Then we do the front passenger. The only reason why we had to do it this way is because y'all were against the wall, so we couldn't get those guys out. That's why you came second. You know?
All this explanation given by the officer would have only made sense if the high-risk traffic stop was in fact justified. However, as we know all too well by now, things escalated way beyond that. Also, the father's main concern was the unnecessary danger imposed on his family, and rightly so. One would expect the police to exercise caution and thoroughness when conducting such license plate checks, especially considering the potential consequences of misidentifying a vehicle or its occupants. Finally, one of the officers admitted to the father that she had made a mistake by running the license plates for Arizona instead of Arkansas. But yet again, the father's counter-argument stands valid, as you will hear.
We're explaining the situation as a group here, so y'all can hear it.
Alright, so it looks like I made a mistake. So I ran it AZ for Arizona instead of AR, and that's what happened.
And you can open up and go away.
So I made a mistake.
But just listen though, it could have went all wrong for us though.
What do you mean by that?
I'm just saying though, because like I say, I dropped my phone here, they yelled out, don't move or we'll shoot. Hell, I dropped my phone. If I would have went to reach for my phone, we could have all got killed. You know, man, it's just a joke. There's so much going on. Y'all know, man, this, hey, man, I'm telling you, man, this is a...
I'm so sorry what happened. We had no intent on doing this, you know. Hey, man, just be honest. I know this is I'm not saying this is the fault. I'm not. But I would suggest getting a thinner so you can see the state, you know, because even though it's partly, because when you're riding out of town, you know, like out of state, we don't know like what design goes to it, you know?
Following this, on July 28, 2023, 5 days after the encounter, the Frisco Police Department wrote in a press release. That same day, an incident review was initiated to determine what happened, how it was managed, and to evaluate what needed to be addressed to prevent this from happening in the future. preliminary assessment provided guidance, re-emphasizing certain training points to include ensuring the accuracy of information entered by officers. An ongoing review will identify further changes to training, policies, and procedures. In addition, Frisco Police Chief David Shilson stated that our department will not hide from its mistakes. Instead, we will learn from them. The officer involved quickly accepted responsibility for what happened, which speaks to integrity. I've spoken with the family, I empathize with them and completely understand why they're upset. I apologized on behalf of our department and assured them that we will hold ourselves accountable and provide transparency through the process. As of the date of this recording, the family has not shared any interest in pursuing legal action against the department, and no further updates have been made by the Frisco Police Department. Moving on, we're looking at a case where 3 police officers racially profiled an innocent man by demanding his ID and then pulling him out of the vehicle, even though he was a passenger who had done nothing wrong. The officers claimed that the man simply looked like he had warrants, and even admitted that they knew he wasn't the one they were looking for. In body cam footage released on March 25, 2023, Deputy Rob of the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office was out on patrol duty when he ran a vehicle's license plate, which came back to inform him that the vehicle's registration had expired. This gave Deputy Rob probable cause to legally pursue the vehicle and initiate a traffic stop. This entire encounter was captured on Deputy Rob's body cam, which we will now use to analyze this incident.
What's going on, my friends?
Good to see you. Not bad. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
I'm alright, sir.
Good. Deputy Rob with the Sheriff's Office.
What's that?
I said I'm Deputy Rob with the Sheriff's Office.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. Not the end of the world. You know your registration expired at the beginning of the month.
Well, I mean, it slipped my mind though, so I can't tell you what I did exactly lying.
Okay, fair enough. Appreciate you being honest about it. Like I said, not the end of the world. It's still December, but it expired a few.
I can go Monday and take care of it.
They're probably going to be closed Monday, but
yeah,
Tuesday, yeah. Don't sweat it, man. You got your license with you?
Yes, sir. I'm going to my car.
Yeah, you're good.
Here you go, sir.
Appreciate it. Do you have your insurance with you as well?
Yes, sir. It's on my phone. Sir. My phone.
Okay, no problem.
That's my policy detail.
Okay. You mind passing it over?
Yeah, you go.
Appreciate you.
I think that's the information. I can go back and see, get the one that say all that stuff. I think that's the one though. I got my policy number on there.
Oh, that looks good. Appreciate it. Give me 1 second, okay?
Yes, sir.
See if I get you out of here.
So far into this encounter, the traffic stop appears to be executed within a textbook procedure. Deputy Rob explained to the driver that it was no big deal that his registration had expired since it was very recent, and the driver took it well as he complied with Deputy Rob and provided him with all necessary information and documents. Before we move on with the encounter, it's important to understand the involvement of occupants in a vehicle other than the driver during a traffic stop. Essentially, we must look at whether passengers in a vehicle are also detained and liable for investigation during a traffic stop. According to the passenger rights in Michigan, it stated that many people stopped by the police may not realize that they may refuse to provide identification when the police ask for it. The officer may request your identification or request to search you. However, you may decline the officer's request. Note that unless the officer has probable cause or reasonable suspicion, they cannot force you to submit. In simple words, if the police stop you in Michigan as a passenger, you don't have to show your ID or let them search you unless they have a good reason to believe you're involved in any violation of the law. Regardless, after speaking with the driver, Deputy Rob spent a good few minutes inside his patrol vehicle calling for backup, listening to music, and fiddling around with his laptop system. Even though it's rather unusual to call for backup at this point, nothing sounds out of place. However, watch how Deputy Rob requested backup by claiming that the passenger of the vehicle might have an assault warrant. The key word here is might. And what makes this worse is the fact that Deputy Rob is yet to even properly look at the passenger, let alone identify who he was. So, Deputy Rob was now racially profiling the passenger by assuming that he might have a warrant.
73. Yeah, another unit make my stop and my passenger's got an assault warrant. Yeah.
One quick point worth noting is that Deputy Rob did not spend all that time writing the driver a ticket or anything of that sort. You will soon see that Deputy Rob gave the driver a break and did not cite him for the expired registration. However, this allows us to speculate whether Deputy Rob had unnecessarily prolonged the traffic stop by sitting inside the vehicle. If we look at the 2015 case of Rodriguez v. United States, the Supreme Court held that a police officer may not extend the duration of a traffic stop beyond the time necessary to complete the original purpose of the stop, unless they have reasonable suspicion or consent to conduct further investigations unrelated to the initial reason for the stop. The court emphasized that a traffic stop should not be unreasonably prolonged in order to allow for unrelated inquiries or waiting for backup without a valid justification. Regardless, following this, Deputy Rob's malicious intent became even more evident when he spoke to another responding officer, claiming that he had a weird feeling about the traffic stop. Now, it goes without saying that feeling some type of way does not warrant any actions or decisions from law enforcement. Proper protocols and legal justifications must be followed in order to ensure fair and unbiased treatment during police interactions.
I'm behind you. I just had a weird feeling about the stop, but the passenger looks like the guy that's got an assault warrant. So let me go up there and double check that it's him. All right, man. So, cut your break with the registration, not writing a ticket or nothing.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have your ID with you, sir?
What do you need my ID for?
Because you look like somebody that I'm looking for.
Oh, so now you about to stereotype me?
No. Not trying to stereotype you.
Okay, now say that again.
You look like a guy that has a warrant. That's why I want to see your ID.
I'm not the driver of the car.
Doesn't matter. If you have a warrant, you have a warrant.
I don't have any warrants.
Okay, what's your name?
You don't need to know my name.
Yes, I do.
Who do you suspect me of being? Call a supervisor.
So you might give my ID back, please.
Picture of that. That's kind of
Y'all call for a supervisor?
Nope.
Did he say no?
If you're not the guy I'm looking for, dude, it's not a big deal. Just let me see your ID.
What you need to see my ID for?
Urbis,
For a minute ago, just a minute ago, you said you need to see my ID because you thought I was somebody.
Yeah.
You just verified I'm not whoever it is you're looking for.
I did not verify.
And now you're still looking for my ID.
I did not verify that.
So now you want to try to violate my constitutional rights? Is that what you want to try to do? Because I've been doing a whole lot of research on this.
Okay, you should probably read up on the laws then, my friend.
Oh, I do know the laws.
Okay.
Deputy Rob was indeed violating the passenger's constitutional rights, the Fourth Amendment to be specific, which protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. The Fourth Amendment, however, is not a guarantee against all searches and seizures, but only those that are deemed unreasonable under the law. And this was indeed unreasonable, since there was no justified suspicion. One landmark case that has established the principle of reasonable suspicion is Terry v. Ohio of 1968, in which the Supreme Court held that an officer may conduct a brief stop and frisk of an individual if they have reasonable suspicion that the person is engaged in criminal activity. However, the reasonable suspicion should be based on specific and articulable facts rather than just a hunch or subjective feeling. On top of all this, Deputy Robb continued to justify his baseless suspicion by stating that the passenger looked like a guy who had an assault warrant. It's almost as if Deputy Robb wished to go on a fishing expedition and try to find something to create trouble for the passenger.
What am I being detained for? What law have I broke? Because we believe that you might be the person we're looking for. Oh, okay.
I'm going to put this in your pocket. It's still recording.
But I haven't committed any crime.
Well, you're suspected of possibly having committed a crime if you have a warrant, right?
I haven't.
And you failed to identify yourself.
I don't have no warrants.
Okay, well, let us check.
Well, then are you willing to identify yourself? Are you willing to identify? Sir, you got another set of cuffs.
What's your badge number?
Sir.
Say that again.
Let me close this one.
2590.
Sir, are you willing to identify yourself?
What law have I committed?
Are you willing to, because here's the problem, if I think that you who this person is, which I do believe that you might be that person, and I can't identify you because you won't provide me any kind of positive identification, then I just have to go off based off looking at a picture of somebody and thinking that you're him.
Okay, that's what I said. Look at the picture good and look at me.
Okay, do you have an ID on you so
look
I can confirm
picture,
where them?
Look at the picture
yes.
good
and
look at me.
And I think you might be the person.
And you think.
Yes, that is correct. You have an ID on you, sir.
Yes, I do have an ID.
Where's your ID?
It's in my pocket, and I do not give you the right to search me.
Which pocket is it?
So you gonna violate my constitutional rights and search me?
No, we have
Somebody record this.
We have the right to identify.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
I didn't give y'all a right to search my person.
That's fine.
So, am I the person you're looking for?
No, you're not the person you're looking for.
So, put my back in my pockets and get the on out my face. Get your will be soon.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I know it is
All
fine.
you have to do is identify yourself. That's
I don't have to. I haven't committed any motherfucking crime.
If we believe that you might be the person, you wouldn't be
out of car. But that's suspicion.
Yes,
that's what you think.
Yep,
that's not a law.
I'm not going to argue with you anymore because
you don't have to argue. Because I requested for a supervisor.
That's fine.
Hey, Bert, if you call for a supervisor since you don't want to.
I'm not going to watch you on this stuff, all right?
I mean, but still, I'm requesting for a supervisor.
You can take him out, Rob.
You giving us a hard time, too.
I'm not giving y'all a hard time. I haven't committed any crime. I haven't did any motherfucking thing wrong.
Okay,
but
my friend.
By law, I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. By law, if y'all cannot just come and approach me and tell me.
I'm taking your handcuffs off, man. We're done.
I know you done, because I ain't doing wrong.
Okay, well, there you
so
go.
I will be suing the out of y'all.
That's fine.
That's fine. So all you want. At the end of the night, man, you're going home.
At the end of the night, I ain't got shit. Doing it.
That's fine. So all you want. My partner's got your wallet.
Here's your wallet, sir. Can I get y'all? Can I get some cards of yours?
I gave you all my information, sir. If you have a problem, you can just call a dispatch. Can I get my driver's license? Yeah, my partner's got it. He'll give it back to you.
No, don't give it to me. Give it back to the owner. Yeah, y'all want to be assholes? I'm going to be an asshole with y'all. Yeah, you was, because I told y'all motherfucker I wasn't who y'all was looking for. I do know that. I ain't got no motherfucking warrants. I know what the going on with my shit. So y'all will be hearing from my lawyer in the morning.
You have a happy new year.
Hey, y'all have a happy new year. Stop with motherfuckers out here. Y'all ain't got shit better to do but fish. Y'all can't find shit wrong, so y'all want to just whoever y'all with. At the end of the night, I ain't got shit to be worried about. Now, y'all always think somebody got some shit to be worried about. Man, y'all.
The actions displayed by the officers quite literally went against their departmental values. It stated that the core values of the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office are ethical integrity, accountability, openness and engagement, financial integrity, and professional competence. Plus, it's also mentioned that the Sheriff's Office focuses on building strong local communities through quality public safety and social justice services for all of Washtenaw County. As of the date of this recording, the the passenger, namely Mr. Cole, is pursuing legal action against the officers involved. No further updates have been made public. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter